Okay, hello, my fellow foas. So they ended up dropping, or someone ended up having a fan cam of the Yonsei economics and like commerce like night that they ended up being a guest at. And I'm just like, yay! I'm so excited because obviously I did like do a little short reaction to like just the snippets that the actual university dropped in their like compilation like summary of the night, or for like I guess for people of the college, right? But yeah, I'm excited to actually see them. Obviously I think they had like a whole like event where they kind of I think did like a lucky draw as well. I don't know exactly what it was for, but I remember seeing that a bit of the snippets in that for the in that video as well. But yeah, I'm excited mostly just to see them do the sarange like Yonsei like chant song for the school, because obviously I have seen Eunice do it when they went to their or when they were invited to their festival for the college as well. But we're just gonna go ahead and watch y'all. This is also kind of like the second event they have gone to that was kind of like more on the private, like, wing side. I'm also like curious to like see what like people's thoughts like in the who were invited to like were part of the event. Because I did mention it's kind of like a big thing that they got invited to this as like a performer, because I think they probably like thought that they're like kind of starting off like on a good note, and like kind of have like similar like values with like their type of music, maybe. So I mentioned in the other video as well. I just want to kind of hear like what their thoughts were, with their performance. Cause I feel like a lot of like the crowd is actually like older, like respectable people. So I feel like they're probably like maybe they don't know like are up to date with like the K-pop community. But I mean they clap, so like Jungkook's just like yes, like they're like thank you for the cheers. Kyo.
그럼 저희가 인사드리겠습니다. 둘, 셋. 안녕하세요.
I love that they were like well received.
저희 아홉을 이렇게 너무너무 소중한 자리 연세의 상경인의 밤에 초대해 주셔서 너무너무 감사드립니다. 너무 행복해요.
They're like, oh, like what, like 어떻게, like what?
시간이 진짜 빨리 지나가면서 벌써 2025년이 코앞인데요. 코앞이 끝나는 게 코앞인데요. 네, 2025년을 마무리하며 저희 9무대를 이렇게 좋은 추억으로 기억할 수 있었으면 너무 좋겠습니다.
그리고 눈치채셨을 수도 있겠지만 저희가 김창수 회장님의 귀염둥이 아들들이거든요. 그래서 오늘 연세 상경인의 밤 무대를 멋있게 여러분들께 보여드리고 김창수 회장님의 자랑스러운 가수가 아티스트가 되는 게 오늘 목표입니다. 예쁘게 봐주세요.
Woongi's just like, I love Woongi.
네, 저희가 이렇게 뜻깊은 자리에 초대된 만큼 저희가 연세여 사랑한다를 준비했습니다. 같이 따라 불러주시면 너무 감사드리겠습니다.
예!
그러면
He's like, I couldn't get to say my like speech because like the song all of a sudden came on. Like everyone's like getting up, like yay, and then like with the tablecloths are like.
김창수 회장님 사랑합니다.
아 귀엽죠? This is so cute. The doubling, it's a doubling for me. Like I think Juwon's doing that.
아홉을 연세를 사랑한다. 김창선이 사랑한다. 사랑한다 연세 사랑한다 연세 내 가슴 속에
The doubling! I can't with the doubling. It's killing me. Like it's cute, but like. Hey! Yeah, because like they kind of have to do it like to be like, oh, like it's an honor, so like we're gonna do like perform the school fight song because like it's a big thing of like pride for the university.
저희가 데뷔한 지 그렇게 오래되지 않았지만 데뷔하고 나서 정말 많은 무대들 관객들과 함께 했는데 오늘 연세인 여러분의 이 뜨거운 분위기는 진짜 잊지 못할 것 같아요. 최고.
감사합니다. 사랑합니다.
저희 아쉽게도 한 곡만을 남겨두고 있는데 너무 슬프죠. 그러면 내년에 또 불러주셔야 돼요. 그때는 더 좋은 곡들 많이 들고 멋있는 무대 보여드리겠습니다. 저희 마지막 곡은 저희 가장 최근에 활동했던 피노키오는 거짓말을 싫어해라는 곡인데요. 그래? 죄송해요.
He's like,
저희가 이번에 들려드릴 곡은 저희 데뷔곡 그곳에서 다시 만나기로 해라는 곡인데요. 마침 딱 내년에 연세 상경인의 밤에서 다시 만나기로 하는 저희 약속 같죠?
I'm dead.
저희 마지막 무대도 함께 즐겨주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
감사합니다. 그럼 마지막으로 인사드리겠습니다. 그럼 지금까지
아홉이었습니다. 감사합니다.
Oh, I think he was introducing like that they were gonna do the next song or the last song. Next song was gonna be their last, and he's like, oh, we're gonna do. He's like, we just did Pinocchio. He's like, oh, he says it's just only like I'm sorry, like. I live for like Woongi and like Jiwon's like, oh, like he's sort of like telling him like, yeah, like
시작된 말을 멈추긴 어려워 내 곁을 스쳐진 날때미처 몰랐던 건 소중한 기억 아마 영원할 memory 그때의 기억 저 하늘의 두 눈에 비친 아우빛깔 저 멀리서도 들을 수 있게 끝없이 외치며 달렸어 지치는 마음이 아플 때 영영이 젖기 전에 눈을 감고서 그려볼게 따뜻해 떠나지 마라 아무만 날 안아줘 그 자리에 굳어서 나를 버리자 다 그때 너와 나 Oh baby I just say it's to me
I guess that's maybe like why they put them in like blue denim for this, cause you know the color is like blue. I think for Yonsei.
소리 질러
Woongi. I like whoever's doing like the tablecloth and like swinging it around. Love that.
시간이 지나면 괜찮을까 아니 난 아닌 것 같으니까 너는 난 초비 껍데기야 내게 돌아와줘 그때의 기억 저 하늘의 두 눈에 비친 아우빛깔 저 멀리서도 느낄 수 있게 또다시 날 부르고 있어
Oh, you can still hear Chan's voice in this song. Cause they're really fighting over like the backtrack. I will say Daisuke's outfit's like the cutest because he has like little leg warmers and I'm just like, oh, cute.
Hold me back, lost in a dream and falling fast. Don't let me get 부르고 있는 것만 같아. Don't let 내가 널 부르고 있는지 몰라.
Hey.
네, 여러분 다시 한번 큰 박수 보내주시기 바랍니다. 아유, 우리 어디 가세요? 벌써 집에 가시려고요? 잠깐만.
They're like, wait. Jiwon forever like running off the stage like I was start trying to leave.
저희 다시 들어갈까요?
저희가 눈치 없이 나왔네요. 네.
네, 3분은 이렇게 올해 데뷔한 그룹 아홉의 무대로 문을 열어봤습니다. 한번 이야기를 좀 나눠보려고 해요.
네, 우리 아홉이 아까도 뭐 잠시 소개를 해주셨지만 국적이 굉장히 다양하다고 들었거든요. 우리 리더분이 좀 멤버들의 국적이 어떻게 되는지 한번 설명 부탁드려도 될까요?
아, 네, 일단 저는 호주에서 왔고요. 네, 그리고 저 제일 키 큰 친구분은
Our tall, he's our tall friend over here.
여기는 필리핀
And Jago's just like, yeah.
친구고요. 지금 아직 같이 없지만
This is what. Hold on, let me pause real quick. This is what I was talking about in the other like previous video that I did with like this the snippets where like I think they invited them more so like because you know Yonsei has like a good like international like abroad like program for like people to like from abroad to like go and like study there for like a summer or like a semester or something like that. So I guess they're kind of like trying to emphasize like, oh, like y'all are like a multinational like multi-global like group, right? Like you have members from like overseas and that are like, you know what I mean? So I think he's like over here introducing oh yeah, like, you know, I'm from like Australia, like him being like Shrebo, like, oh, our Kikum Saram, or like our tall like Chingu over here is from China or whatever. And then like with Jo, I think I think he was about to say he's like either he was from like I think he was gonna say Thailand or like Taiwan, and then Jo was just like, yeah, like where am I from again? Like he's like, yeah, you were saying like, oh, like Philippine, like yeah, he's from the Philippines, and then also like Daisuke over here is from Japan, so like I love that, you know, because it makes sense that they're like, oh, like wanting to like highlight that, and that's probably why they invited them too, because they're like, oh, like y'all, half of y'all's members are like, more than half of y'all are like from international, like our international members or like foreign members, so like kind of, you know, like kind of like promoting like the college is also like, oh yeah, we have like a big, you know, program or like study abroad like program to like come like, you know, let people like know, and then, you know, kind of like, oh yeah, like, you know what I mean, like how it makes sense with both of them.
일본 친구고요. 지금 아직 같이 없지만 지원이라는 친구는 대만 국적을 갖고 있습니다. 그리고 나머지 멤버들은 다 한국인이고요.
오, 그럼 총 몇 개국인 거예요?
다섯
아, 5개 나라. 서로 말은 대화는 어떤 식으로 하나요?
처음에는 좀 소통에 어려움이 조금은 있었는데 지금은 그래도 외국 친구들이 한국어를 정말 많이 잘 해줘서 지금 한국어로 전혀 문제 없이 소통할 수 있습니다.
I think they're like asking them like, oh, how is it like
바랍니다. 네.
communicating, like is there any like
그룹입니다.
네, 진짜 외국어를 익힌다는 게 쉽지 않은데 소통도 금방 잘 된다고 하니까 앞으로 활동도 이 호흡 잘 맞춰서 기대를 해보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 그럼 이번에 아홉과 함께 이 경품 추첨 워밍업 시간을 가져보려고 하거든요. 당첨 번호가 해당되시는 분은 무대 위로 올라와서 오늘 우리 아홉 이분들과 같이 사진을 찍을 수 있는 기회를 드려보도록 하겠습니다.
너무 다 찍고 싶은데 다 뽑으면 안 돼요?
Moongie's just like, I want to do it, like I love like lucky draws.
그리고 도대체 어떤 분들이 우리 아홉 멤버들과 사진의 기회를 가져갈 수 있을지 우리 리더가 대표로 한번 번호를 뽑아보겠습니다.
네, 알겠습니다.
They're like, well, you have the honors going first because you're our leader.
딱한 장만. 자, 몇 번인지 직접.
네, 20139번입니다.
자, 20139번, 20139번 계신가요?
동무님.
동무님 계신가요?
자리에 지금 안 나타나시는 거.
Good thing they like blurred out the like redacted the names, so like we're not trying to like leak anyone's information.
우리 동문이 테이블 전체 인원 다 나오겠습니다. 모두 함께 나오셔서 모두 모실 수는 없으니까 테이블 전체 나오셔서 사진을 한번 찍도록 하겠습니다.
여자분들이 많은 테이블이라서 아주 잘 골라주신 것 같습니다.
그러게요. 자, 나오셔서 기념 사진을.
I'm guessing it was supposed to be like a raffle to like maybe get a picture with them, maybe is what I'm thinking, or something like that, because they're having them do like pull the like the lots, and then also I saw like the other video also showed like them getting the picture taken. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm guessing that's what it was, but yeah, like I said, it's like a good like a way to, you know, kind of promote the group as well. Getting to invited to like I said, because Yonsei is like a big deal, so like getting invited to like an event, it'll probably like also be, you know, later on whenever like the summer rolls around again, they have like their festival for like maybe they'll get invited as well, kind of like how Eunice did. So it's kind of like like opening that opportunity as well, and kind of like I said, I think it also has to do with, you know, if whoever like organizes the events, we're probably like, oh, like who's like a new group that like is kind of up and coming, that kind of like will kind of represent or like kind of like has like good music that like kind of represents like the values that we want to like, you know, keep in line with what our image is for the, you know, university and everything. So I think that's why I mentioned like it makes sense that they were like, oh, like, you know, like AHOF's up and coming, you know, they have they're a multinational group, you know, there's a lot of foreign members that kind of like maybe get people interested, like you know, any if they had like, you know, any foreign like students and stuff like that kind of interested in like, oh, like for the, you know, college to be like, oh, like yeah, like, or people like if, you know, you're abroad like overseas and you're like kind of saying like, oh, like they got invited to this event, like, oh, like what is Yonsei, kind of get you intrigued in that way as well. But I think it was very smart on their part. Like I said, I think it makes sense with how I think like the meanings behind, you know, AHOF's like entire discography so far is very much kind of like looking forward to like the future and like, you know, talking about like you know, growth and, you know, like bright and positive things, you know, like, so like I think it makes sense that they're like kind of like, oh, like that aligns with like our values. Like you don't want to like get a group that, you know, because you know every like group has their own distinct like sound and distinct like lyrics and music, and sometimes like it's kind of like, you know, like the generation gap in that way where like, you know, obviously like this is a university, so it's like kind of like maybe it has like older like more respectable like people like leaders in the community for this university, so they're kind of like also like, oh, like we don't want to like offend anyone like in a way with like if we get like a group that like maybe the like songs aren't like, you know, necessarily like the messages don't really like, you know, aren't something we want to like, you know, promote or endorse. So I that's what I'm saying, like it makes sense that like they got AHOF because like their music kind of like would have that kind of like positive kind of like not like, you know, nothing like kind of, you know what I mean, like the word like the meanings behind it won't be like anything that they're like having to be cautious around, and they're just like, oh, like I think it makes sense with like the style of music too, kind of reminds me like the old gen, if that makes sense, you know. It just, I don't know, it kind of makes sense to me, like because if you're thinking it like in the perspective of, like I said, if you're trying to like invite someone and, you know, kind of want to have a good impression with the crowd that you're having this event in front of, you know, like you don't want to leave like a bad like thing. So it just makes sense with the songs and, you know, their type of music and just them as a group kind of up and coming, with also like it being like a way to like endorse like, oh yeah, like we all like our college also like provides that kind of like study abroad, like, oh, we have a lot of foreign students that come from abroad to like join us in this like in our university and like kind of study, you know what I mean. But yeah, I think it was, like I said, I really enjoyed it, you know. It's very much, you know, interesting to see how the crowd kind of like reacts to them, because, you know, it is, like I said, kind of like people who are part, like maybe faculty and like maybe students a part of this certain major that they like for this event. So it's very interesting to see like their reactions to this as well, which I'm glad that they were like well received with what it seems like, because I feel like for the way that they like, you know, talk and carry themselves, I feel like it's very you know what I mean, like it's very like you want to kind of help but like smile at like their how they talk, especially like Woongi. I feel like Woongi for sure like kind of creates like that mood for whenever he like kind of like does like his mens or like talks. I feel like it's like, oh my god, like you can't help but like, you know, kind of like be intrigued or like, oh, like kind of like fall for like how cute they are, and kind of like, oh my god, like I wish for them to like to do well, you know what I mean. So like, I would be, it would kind of be interesting to see like if anyone like at this event like what their take ended up being after like seeing them perform, because I'm sure like I mentioned, like maybe they're not really well versed in like K-pop in general, and like we probably sometimes they don't really know like, oh, like who is, unless like, you know, they're, you know, sometimes people are if they are like students, right? But maybe for like the older gen, they're probably like not sure, like, oh like, you know, not knowing. So it's kind of interesting to see like this being like Aho being like the group to be invited and being like kind of you know, like their first, or maybe like their like intro to like, oh, like the group itself, right? But anyways, yeah, I'm excited that they ended up posting it too, because I'm really happy that they did, because I kind of wanted, like I said, I wanted to see like them do the Saranghae Yonsei performance, or even if just like a snippet of it, because like it definitely means a lot, and also like is a way of like show of respect for the what's it called, the college and university in general, because, you know, it is like their theme song, it is like their pride to be a part of the university. So I think it kind of leaves a good lasting impression that they did in practice, like the actual like the song that like the cheerleaders ended up doing with that movement and like singing it, you know, and like kind of, you know what I mean, like it just makes it like a sign of respect for the university for them to have done the song as well, because, you know, it's like a way to amp everyone up and like maybe like, oh yeah, like they sing, like they sing it really good, you know what I mean. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I shall see you in the next one.